Hi, so this is a video on set partitions and we'll split the topic into several videos. So this is part one of set partitions. We'll begin by discussing a simple problem. There are 5 children present. They are supposed to be grouped into 3 available rooms. They are supposed to be placed into 3 available rooms using all 3 rooms. In how many different ways can the children split themselves into groups, right? So if you start thinking about this problem, you will realize that the problem is not framed very well because we don't know what do we mean. What do we mean by different? Mean by different. So how many different ways can the children be split into groups, right? So we have to clarify what this means. So think about it. Suppose the rooms are like this. This is room 1. This is room 2. And this is room 3. Correct? And let's say we put A and B. A, B, C, D, E are the 5 children. So A, B is in the first room, C, D is in the second room, and E is in the third room. And this is another possibility here. Room 1, room 2, room 3. And this time, 2 and room 3. This time you put E in the first one, and AB here, and CD here, right? So are these two different arrangements? Are these called different? Notice that this depends on whether the rooms are labeled or not, right? If the rooms are called room 1, room 2, room 3, and then the rooms are basically different, right? Rooms could be identical and rooms could be different, right? So in this case, the grouping of people or the grouping of children is the same, but they are placed in different rooms. So basically the rooms have been arranged, right? So here room 3 had E and here room 1 had E. So this is just a permutation of the rooms, right? So that can only happen if rooms were different, right? So that is a different question. And in case rooms were identical, what you would do is you will remove the labels, right? If the rooms were identical, then you cannot distinguish between rooms. So in that case, then this and this, these two are the same arrangements. No? These two become the same partition because actually the children are together with the same children, right? A is with B, here also A is with B, here also C and D are together and E is alone, right? So the question basically depends on whether the available rooms are identical or whether the available rooms are different, right? So in both the cases, you will get different answers. Now we can connect those two problems in a simple way. You can say that if if we solve the problem of splitting 5 people into 3 identical rooms, and we say that the number of ways here is x, right? Then the problem of splitting 5 people into 3 different rooms. These are identical rooms, non-distinguishable. And if these are 3 different rooms, which are distinguishable rooms, that will obviously be a higher number. And how high will it be? You basically take for each of these arrangements, there are for each distribution in X, there are 3 factorial ways to permute the rooms, right? Permute the rooms. So basically there are 6 ways for each distribution in X. There are 6 ways to change the room order, right? Because the rooms are different, therefore there are 3 factorial ways to permute them. So you'll get 6x will be the answer for this, right? This problem. 6x is the answer for this problem because the rooms are all different now. So what we need to do is to learn how to solve this problem. If we know how to solve this problem and find x, then we'll be able to do the problem when the rooms are all different, right? That will be just 3 factorial into x. So that is what we will discuss in this video. So this situation happens so often that this is given a special name, and it is called a partition. So let's look at the definition of what is a partition. So let n and k be positive integers with k less than equal to n. Okay, let b be the set b is equal to set of term elements b1, b2, and so on till b of k. Okay, where each bi is a subset. Bi is a subset of the set 1, 2 till n. Bis are non-empty. Non-empty means they don't have, there's not a null set. So each bi is not an empty set, and they are pairwise disjoint. Pairwise disjoint means bi intersection bj is equal to null set when I is not equal to j, right? That is a pairwise disjoint set. Also, union of I goes from 1 to k of bi, which means basically b1 union b2 union so on till union bk is equal to the set 1 to n. Correct? So what this means is we are splitting the set 1 to n into k different subsets. Splitting 1 to n set into k disjoint non-empty subsets. Non-empty subsets. These subsets are called b1, b2, b3 till bk, right? And if we can do this splitting, then the set B of all these subsets, the set B of all these disjoint non-empty subsets of 1 to n is called the partition. So B is called partition of 1 to n into k blocks, or k subsets, right? So this is the definition of partition. So let's go through the definition once again so it is clear to everyone. So if you have a big set 1 to n, you want to partition it into k blocks or k parts, right? So what you have to do basically is find k different subsets which are individually non-empty, so they cannot be null sets, and they are disjoint with each other, pairwise disjoint. So nothing can be common between any two of those subsets. And when you take union of all of those subsets, then it becomes the full set 1 to n, right? If you can find such k subsets, then the set B of such subsets is called a partition of the overall set, right? So let's do an example quickly and understand how to think about this. So let's say we are find the number of partitions of 1, 2, 3, 4 into 3 blocks. Let's think about this problem. So we have, this is my 1 to n, this is my big set, universal set, and we have to partition that into 3 blocks. So 3 blocks means you have to create 3 subsets b1, b2, b3, and my partition will be the set of these subsets. Set of these subsets b1, b2, b3, right? Now, here we have to ensure that b1, b2, b3 are first of all not empty. The second condition has to be that b1, bi intersection bj has to be null set. So I and j can be anything. I and j can be anything 1, 2, or 3, right? And I is not equal to j, right? And the third thing is B1 union B2 union B3 should be our overall set 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Then we have constructed a partition, right? So think about it, since there are four elements and we have to put it into 3 blocks, then obviously by pigeonhole principle, you know that one of those blocks has to have 2 elements, right? Correct? 2 or more. But if you give more than 2, if you put 3 of them in one, then one of them will become empty, right? And that is not allowed in a partition. So the only way to group them will be 2, 1, 1, right? The groups will have to be 2, 1, 1, correct? So one block has to have 2 elements, one block has to have 1 element, one block has to have 1 element. So it is very easy to count the number of such things. Very easy to count because you just select which 2 will go into one of those blocks, right? So there are total 4 elements and you have to select 2 elements to go into one of those B sets, which has 2 elements, right? So therefore 4C2 is equal to 6. There will be 6 ways to make this set, 6 ways. And for each way, you will get 2 elements which will be put into singleton sets like this, right? So total number of ways will be 6. So let's try and now list out the number of partitions becomes 6. Let's list out the partitions to understand it a little better. So one partition could be 1, 2, 3, 4, right? This is one partition. The another partition could be 1, 3, 2, 4. So notice that I'm listing out a set of subsets, right? This is a set containing subsets B1, B2, B3, B1, B2, B3. Another partition could be 1, 4, 2, 3, right? And similarly, now we can start with 2, 3, 1, 4, and 2, 4, 1, 3, and lastly 3, 4, 1, 2, right? 3, 4, 1, 2, correct? So this gives us the number of partitions of this 4 element set into 3 blocks. Now some points to note here, things that you need to remember here is that the blocks B1, B2, B3, right? In each case, in each of these partitions, this is B1, this is B2, this is B3, and so on, right? Blocks B1, B2, B3 are themselves sets, are sets. So the order of elements inside, order of the elements in B1, B2, B3 inside them doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So basically what I'm saying by this point is that you cannot create a new partition called 2, 1, 3, 4. 2, 1, 3, 4 is not a partition, not a different partition, because it is identical to this one. Because 1, 2 set is the same as 2, 1 set. Order of elements inside a set doesn't matter. So you cannot rearrange it like this and say this is a different partition, right? So we don't count such elements. So that is the first point. The next thing is to note here is that B itself is a set, right? B itself is a set. So the order of the blocks doesn't matter. Order of B1, B2, B3 doesn't matter. Basically, B is a set and B set contains the subsets B1, B2, B3, right? So you cannot create a new partition saying this is the partition 3, 4, 1, 2. This is just rearranging this and this partition, and order of elements in a set doesn't matter. So this is not a different partition. This is the same thing, right? So we have understood how to partition basically 4 element set into 3 blocks where blocks are identical. This was the case where blocks are identical. If blocks were different, then the number would be higher. It would be 3 factorial into this, right? So let's do another problem to reinforce the concept of partition. The question is number of partitions of the set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into 3 blocks, let's say. So we have to partition them into 3 blocks. So now if you think about it, there will be multiple ways you can group them into 3 parts. You can have one set has 3 and one set has 1, 1, or you could also have 2, 2, 1, right? So you could have one set with 3, one set with 1, one set with 1. You could have 2 sets with 2 and one set with 1, right? So these are 2 different ways. You cannot do any other way, because if you put 4, for example, then some sets will have 0, right? And if you do 1 or 1, something 1, 1, then you will have 3, which is the same thing. So there's no other possibility, right? So how do you count this number? So this is grouping 5 things into 3 things, so that you just select here 5 out of the 5 things. Let's make up this subset B1. How to make B1 basically? So this is B1 is supposed to have 3 elements, B2 is supposed to have 1 element, and B3 is supposed to have 1 element. So let's just form B1. So there are 5 elements, and you will have 5C3 ways to make B1. And 2 things that are left out after that will be just put into separate singleton sets, right? So this is basically 10 ways right here. 10 ways to make this, and let's find out how many ways to make this. So this is grouping of 5 things into 3 sets, having 2 of them having 2 sets, 2 elements, and 1 of them having 1 element, right? So let's try to think about it, how we'll do this. First, let's make the singleton set. So that can be done in 5 ways, right? 5 ways, because there are 5 elements. Then you have 4 elements left, and you should probably do multiplication principle, and you do 4 out of the 4, make one of these sets, 4C2, right? So this gives the answer 5 into 6 is equal to 30. But if you're not careful, you'll make a mistake here. This 30 involves a double counting. So you have to be a little careful here, because there are 2 sets with equal number of elements, and they cannot be distinguished between each other. So actually, this number is an overcounting. Let's take an example so that you understand why it is an overcounting. So for example, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you are splitting into sets. So let's say 1 is the number selected to form the singleton set. And now you have 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Out of which you select two elements to form the next set. So you select 2, 3, right? So automatically 4, 5 has been selected, right? So this is my one of the 30 ways that we are getting here. This is one way to get a partition. However, when you selected 2, 3 in this second step, you could have selected 4, 5 in the second step and still got the same partition, right? This is not this is the same partition, right? Because the elements in this order of the subsets doesn't matter in a partition. This is actually the same partition, but you will count it as two different counts in this calculation, because you could have selected 4, 5, or you could have selected 2, 3. There are 2 ways, but they count for only one partition, right? So therefore, we have to do 4C2 by 2 here. 4C2 by 2, because every partition is represented twice in this number. So therefore, it is basically 6 by 2, so 3. So the number actually, this is wrong. What you get is 5 into 3, which is equal to 15, right? In JEE Advanced PNC, you will learn that the number of ways of grouping this can be done as 5 factorial by 2 factorial, 2 factorial, 1 factorial, and 2, because 2 of the sets are repeated. So that also gives 15 as an answer. You will see, you can find PNC videos on my channel where I have discussed this grouping part in more detail. But for now, we'll not concern ourselves with that so much. We are saying that the number of ways to make partitions here is 3, 1, 1 or 2, 2, 1. The number of ways to make 3-1-1 partitions is 10. The number of ways to make 2-2-1 partitions are 15. So the total number of partitions is 10 plus 15 by addition principle, and it is 25 partitions, right? Now, suppose this was for the case when the 3 blocks were identical, right? If suppose you had 3 blocks are different, right? 3 blocks are different, then total number of ways would be 325. The number of ways to do identical problem multiplied by 3 factorial. 3 factorial into 25 is equal to 150 ways if the blocks are different, right? So this has now given us the solution to the initial problem that we had. Initial problem was there were 5 children and they had to be separated into 3 rooms, right? And 3 rooms were, if the 3 rooms were identical, the problem has, basically there are 25 ways for the children to group themselves. And if the rooms are different, then there are 150 ways for the children to arrange themselves. So that is our answer, and this solves the problem. And we have learned how to basically do small numbers partitions, right? So in case the number of elements is big and the number of blocks is also big, the questions become a little complicated. You cannot do this grouping method in general. So in the next video, what we'll look at is ways to generalize this. So what we'll be looking at is number of ways to partition n element set 1 to n into k parts. So how do we solve this question in general? N could be large, right? So we will realize that this leads to a class of numbers called Stirling numbers. And we'll do a lot of interesting theorems on the Stirling numbers. These are Stirling numbers of the second kind. There are many types of Stirling numbers. These are Stirling numbers of the second kind, and we'll see how Stirling numbers give us a way to count set partitions. So I hope you understood the concept of what is a partition and how we are counting them. For now, in this video, we have done basic PNC methods to count. We are basically taking case by case division into groups and counting how many groups are possible. However, in the next video, we'll do a more general way to count them. So this is the problem that will occupy us in the next video. So see you next time. I hope you learned something from this video.